The wind blew fast. The ships lost their way. But was Columbus aware of it? It doesn't seem so, because when he reached Indies, he thought he had reached India. He did not know that he had discovered a new land. It was America, where red Indians used to stay. Will it be correct to say that Columbus discovered America? It will be better to say that he introduced the American continent to the Europeans during his voyages between 1492 and 1502, who ultimately moved to America to form different new nations like United States, Mexico, and Canada. American continent was inhabited by red Indians. It is believed that people who were the first to come to this continent were Asians some 15,000 years before. It is said that 15,000 years before, the ocean level was much lower and the land between the continents was hundreds of kilometers wide. These Asians had walked across the Bering Land Bridge into the American continent. In olden days, the search for food and water and the urge of new avenues made the humans disperse across the north, which eventually brought them to Central and South America. The evidence that the Europeans had visited the American continent much earlier is that sweet potato is basically a native of South America. How this pinkish red tuber could be found on the menu in Polynesia some 1,000 years before. Well, not going much deeper into the controversy, let us know how Columbus reached America. On August 3rd, 1492, Christopher Columbus, with 3 ships and a crew of 90 sailors, set on sail from Palos, Spain, said to be the beginning of new era. Columbus never knew that this voyage of his would make him reach America, revolutionizing the world for the time to come. The rivalry to become master of the seas between Portugal and Spain, and that after the loss of Constantinople in 1453, which had severe impact on the trade, led to the search for a new sea route. With situation like this, Columbus Christopher, an Italian explorer, succeeded in persuading the then King Ferdinand and Queen Isabella of Spain to fund him for his journey to Asia. After receiving the funds, Columbus arranged 3 small ships, the Santa Maria, the Pinta, and the Ninna, and recruited about 90 sailors as his crewmen. Columbus followed the strategy based on the writings of the ancient Greek writers Ptolemy and Strabo, and the famous traveler Marco Polo, who had reached Asia through the Silk Road. Columbus himself had lot of experience being a merchant as well as an explorer of the Mediterranean Sea. The journey of Columbus was not that easy. The voyage across the Atlantic Ocean was very torturous and was filled with number of uncertainties. Columbus and his crews had to face mutinies, storms, as well as wrong navigation, but their determination led them forward. On 12th October 1492, a land was seen, which Columbus and his crew members thought to be East Indies, but instead they had reached the land of Guanahani in Bahamas. Christopher Columbus may have stumbled upon America accidentally, but this accidental discovery of his has changed the course of history. His travel bridged the gap between Europe and the New World. His curiosity led to the transatlantic colonization and an increase in the trade of food and other resources around the world. Though he is fondly remembered as a breaking explorer, some of his actions led to the transatlantic slave trade and mass killing and exploitation of indigenous people. He had set out to find a route from Europe to Asia, but reached America. Though he is best known for discovering North America, he first landed in South America. He landed at the Paria Peninsula nowadays known as Venezuela, according to history. On October 12th, 1492, he reached Watling Island in Bahamas, and later that month he found Cuba, and in December of that very year he landed on Hispaniola, and later on returned to Spain with native captives he called Indians. Columbus' expeditions, his explorations, conquest, and colonization lasted for centuries, bringing the Americas under the European sphere of influence. The transfer of plants, animals, precious metals with the American culture and their diseases are known as Columbian Exchange. Numerous places have been named after his name, as Colombia. The quest for the Indian spices led him to the discovery of America. Thank you for joining.